So a couple weeks ago, Beautiful Destinations released a new video called Trippin, and when I watched it, I was very impressed and a little bit confused by the techniques that they used. BD has a history of innovating and changing the game, and this video is no different. It has a great message behind it about the importance of young people getting out there and voting, and they used a lot of interesting techniques and spanned over 20 countries in shooting the video. So they're basically taking a bunch of different locations and forming them into something that flows together cohesively and understandably. It's not an easy thing to do by any means, so today I wanted to take the video, really sit down and break down how they're doing that to the best of my ability. Before we get into the breakdown, in last week's video, I asked you all to send in edits that you made using the techniques that I covered in that video. And at the time that I'm filming this video, that's only been open for 1 or 2 days, so I obviously haven't picked out a winner quite yet. So instead of telling you who won that, I'm just gonna pretend that I'm telling you who won that and dub it over in post. You shouldn't be able to tell the difference. So thank you to everyone who sent something in, and the one that I'm picking out to feature is this edit by Julian. His channel's called Skill Twin. So here's their 15-second edit. Thank you so much to Julian, his link will be in the description, for sending that edit in. I really especially liked how you kept the color scheme and camera motion consistent throughout, used a lot of foreground, and really brought that location to life. Just really cool. I really enjoyed it. Thank you for sending that in. Jumping into this BD video, it starts out with a fast-paced narrative intro that really just sets up what's going on in the rest of the video. We see in the beginning that he's reading this newspaper, which actually comes back later in the introduction as this kind of Harry Potter-esque newspaper animation, and that animation combines with this kind of news anchor type voiceover to really give us the exposition of what's going on. This introduction is also the only use of like normal video in the entire project. The rest is made up entirely of drone shots, hyperlapses, and most notably 360-degree video. The 360 camera gives you kind of a first-person feel and really emphasizes the motion when you're kind of racing through the middle of these places, and the drone shots kind of zoom out and show you the bigger picture of these locations that the 360-degree video can't necessarily show you. A lot of the hyperlapses in this video appear to have one point that kind of stays in the middle of the frame the entire time, which leads me to believe that they were made using that kind of traditional hyperlapse method where you take a photo, take a step forward, take another photo, another step forward. My personal favorite way to shoot a hyperlapse. It's also entirely possible that they shot these using the 360-degree camera, then just stabilized the shot to that one point in post and removed the fisheye distortion. In terms of what they're filming, we see a lot of really iconic spots in these different countries, but there's a very interesting emphasis placed on different modes of transportation. Transportation is of course essential for travel as a whole, but it's also a key detail of the character of these individual countries. If you see any of these different modes of transportation, chances are you have a pretty good idea of what country you're in. The emphasis on transportation also contributes to the style of the entire video in that it's combined with drone shots and hyperlapses to really give the video a sense of this constant motion. The way that they take these three very different styles of shooting and combine them in the edit is very interesting. There's a lot of seamless mask transitions being used to combine hyperlapses with 360 and vice versa, and there's also a lot of speed ramps when we see the drone shots come in. Like a lot of other BD videos, this one includes match cuts on match cuts, particularly this one sequence that's a bunch of overhead shots of everything from bikes to cars to boats, just a bunch of different modes of transportation. All the transitions in this video are used for the purpose of keeping that sense of continuous motion, and they're using these kind of bounce and camera shake animations between them to really feel like the camera's moving around seamlessly. And the animations aren't just used for transitions. The 360 shots are animated to scale and rotate around different subjects, and the drone shots have this very interesting, almost camera shake type effect keyframed in post. In addition to having this effect added on in post, a lot of the drone shots are sped up significantly. Combine that with the fact that there's a lot of orbiting shots, and it really feels like the camera is really just zooming and swinging around in the scene. As far as the grading goes, the colors used in this video aren't particularly saturated or desaturated from what I can tell, but the dominant colors being used here are orange and blue, as well as a kind of desaturated green, tan, and gray. For the most part, the visuals here follow the music, but sound design is also a huge part of this video. Throughout the video, they're incorporating sounds and even short samples of music that are characteristic to these locations. Here's a few examples.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform.
Sound design is essential for any kind of project, but in this one, it really serves the purpose of helping the viewer to keep up with such a fast-paced video. With cuts as fast as the ones used in this video, it can be difficult at times for your brain to figure out what the hell is going on, but having those short samples of sound highlights the most important details in the shot. For example, right here. When you're seeing all these back-to-back cuts, it can be a little difficult to keep up with what's going on, but as soon as you hear the sound of that bike bell, you know you're looking at a shot of someone riding a bike. At this point, you can probably tell that a lot of these techniques serve that really fast-paced style, and that's not just something that's kind of necessary for cramming this many locations into such a short video, it's also something that contributes to the message they're trying to convey. The ultimate goal of this style is to recreate for the viewer this really fast-paced, almost frantic trip across as many countries in Europe as possible, and they're using this Brexit example to highlight the importance of young people going out and voting for what they think is important. It's all just so ambitious and wacky and ridiculous to watch, but it all has a point, it's all very intentional, and ties into the ultimate goal of the video. So I hope you've enjoyed my breakdown of this video, and if there's something else that you think I might not have noticed or even gotten wrong in this video, feel free to go comment and let me know what it was. I'd love to chat about it. But I do hope that you found this enjoyable or informative, and if you did, do feel free to show your support by leaving a like on the video, sharing it with your friends, or even subscribing to my channel. I upload 2 new filmmaking tutorials every single week. But that's all for now. Keep creating, and I'll see you in the next one.